So, I'm sorry. Last week's game against the Squealers. This was a typical Ravens Steelers stuff here. This was typical, like, these games and the history of these games. Anybody who has been around the Ravens and Steelers history, a lot of you Raven fans out there know how close these games often are. Every inch, every second, everything matters. And this was no different. This was a very much a typical Ravens Steelers. 27-22 was the final score in this one. This could have went either way. I know a lot of fans are upset because we lost, and of course, because the Steelers did win. Tomlin with the little snarky kissing the camera and everything because he was good. He actually got the win and everything. So definitely blown calls. But I mean, my first reaction after the game was over. This is kind of what you get when you start out 1-5, and then you have to come back. You get a Steelers-Ravens game, and this is what you get. This game could have went either way on either side. Aaron Rodgers in this game, Steelers quarterback, 23 for 34, 284, 1 TD. I thought this was the best Aaron looked all season. I thought Aaron was really good. When you don't pressure him and he has time, he looks. This is what you get. This is what you still can get from Aaron Rodgers. So 23 for 284, 1 TD. I thought it was good stuff from Aaron all the way around. He still is an accurate passer, can get it to the receivers. Definitely him and DK Metcalf were just making some great catches. I mean, that certainly aided him. But, I mean, I think the Ravens defensively, the structure of it was sound, but DK just made some great catches. That was my assessment of it here as well. Jalen Warren for the Squealers. They can't run the ball. They can't run the ball. You saw a team for so many years. They had Jerome Bettis and Bam Morris and all the great Steelers in the run games, Willie Parker and all those guys. And this is definitely not that. Jalen Warren not really showing himself to be a number one back. He's probably the best one to have there. Gainwell as well. Johnson really doesn't look like it's helping him the draft pick. So this is kind of what you're getting from them. 8 carries, 13 yards. The Ravens were lucky because they really couldn't run the ball in this one as well. But this was the man that did all the damage. DK Metcalf, he had eight receptions, 148. I thought Metcalf was fantastic in this game. I thought a lot of people are going to disagree with me when I say the coverage was good on him, but the coverage was good on him. I mean, he was just making some Spartacus Superman catches in this game. Some of them Kings right on the sideline, just jumping in between two receivers, beating the double team. He's the best athlete a lot of times at that part of the field. So that's actually what happened, I think, there as well. Alex Highsmith got the 1 sack in the game. This is, if anything, the Steelers do well. It's that they pretty much do have good pass rush. TJ Watt had an issue today. I think his status is in question for next week, but they definitely have decent pass rush. I mean, for sure. So that's definitely a thing with them as well. Lamar Jackson, our fearless leader, better last week. I guess you could say that. I guess that's accurate. 19 for 39, 219. Finally got a TD or finally got a rush TD. Last week, 1 INT, 1 touchdown. He's still not. I still say, I've said it before, I'm going to say it one more time. I think him missing so much practice is affecting him. They're not. He just looks a little off in his timing. He looks a little off throwing. It seems like this is the case now since he's come back from injury that he's taking a half to get warm. He's better in the second half, or he's better in parts of games, but in the first half, he's again, and so that's costing him as well. Derrick Henry, 25 for 94, 25 carries, 94 yards. There's nothing wrong with Derrick Henry. There's nothing wrong with Derrick Henry. What's wrong with Derrick Henry is the line's not black for him. They can't do anything on the right side. as well. So it's taking him more carries to actually get there. He is as good as he is. He doesn't have tremendous acceleration to kind of beat the poor blocking a lot of times. So he does have to take like a step and a half. And I think sometimes at the blocking, if they're totally caved in, and like it is on that right side a lot of times, even on the left side, it struggle. I see it better on the left side where at least he can run over there a little bit better, but they're running everything to the left. They can't, there's not much they can do with the right with Ricard. Maybe if they have Ricard over there or something, but there's just not much they can do with the right. Zay Flowers, probably I think he's been your best Raven this season. It's certainly at least on offense. 8 carries, 24 yards, 124. Good stuff, I think, again, from Zay Flowers as well. I do believe he's got to get a little bit more help. We got to diversify a little bit. He seems to be, it looks now more and more like he's bailing him out. We're not seeing a lot of DeAndre Hopkins. We're not seeing a lot of Rashard Bateman catching balls. Andrews, I think, is having some good games, obviously, as well. Isaiah Likely had some catches. Of course, we're going to talk about Isaiah Likely. But it seems like they're so dependent on Zay Flowers, at least Lamar is. So as far as big catches and everything like that, they are going ahead and using Zay Flowers a lot for a lot of this stuff as well. Roquan, 10 tackles. Roquan's been fine. I think more and more he's looked like himself. I think unlike Lamar, who I think is still pretty much injured, Roquan looks a lot more healthy. Roquan looks like he's doing more with since he's come back. So I think Roquan has really been solid, I believe, in his return, looking more healthy. Tackles are increasing as well. The other guys also playing off better as well. So definitely Ted Buchanan also has looked well in this one as well. I would say Kyle Hamilton has been quiet more. The hybrid role, I think, as cool as it is a lot of times, like if he doesn't actually get a lot of those splash plays, he's quiet. I think he's actually been quiet, I think, the last week or so. So that's it for that. 27-22. Ravens lose to the Squealers in this one. I don't know how I feel about this. Obviously, Isaiah Likely, the call. That was a touchdown, okay? They're not going to find me as the commentator to actually talk about it. Catch the ball with 2 feet in the end zone. I've been watching now for 40 years, and that's always been a touchdown. So I don't know what this stuff is, what the rule is, where that's changed or whatever. They talk about a football move. I only thought that was in the field of play. So we see touchdowns all the time where only the point of the ball has to break the plane, call a touchdown. So he's actually in the end zone, catches the ball, and he gets a penalty for that. So, and he actually, they call it a drop pass for that. That was a touchdown. That was a touchdown. Those points off the board. Travis Jones, it was actually, the league said they didn't make a mistake. They didn't call it on a block punt, where the Steelers actually got a 5 extra. I think it was a block where he goes through the line, actually got a few more yards. That was a clearly bad call. Aaron Rodgers, Teddy Buchanan swipes the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hand. Then they say that Aaron Lee was down and they get the ball to the Ravens again and lose another turnover opportunity with that. That's a couple of them. And I will say that is a thing. But this is Steelers Ravens. You know, you have games like that. When you have a game close to the vest like that, and you put yourself in a position like that, this is kind of what happens. Mike Tomlin knows how to win games in the offseason, during the regular season. This guy, once again, is knocking on the door of yet another winning season. So this could be the last time we see it in M&T Bank. They're going to play at the end of the year. That could be for the division title. We'll see how that goes. So sure the league would like that. So the last game, depending on how these other games goes, we still got a few more weeks left. That game could be for the AFC North title in Pittsburgh. Wouldn't be for the first time that has happened. But the likely call for the record was just complete garbage. I don't want to hear that out of the rule. That was just terrible. 2 feet in the end zone and it's not a touchdown. I mean, what kind of I don't even know what to say to that. That's just bad all the way around. So we had a game this week. 6-7 Baltimore Ravens against the 4-9 Cincinnati Bengals. Who they? Cincinnati. So forget the record on the screen there because that's Cincinnati's much better than their record with Joe Burrow in the lineup. So again, a lot of those games were lost. When they had Browning in the game, they lost a couple games early. So they're not going to the playoffs because they have too many losses. But they didn't look bad last week. I mean, they didn't win. They didn't beat Buffalo. I think like that game, the goofy snow and everything hurt them. But they certainly didn't look bad last week. Joe Burrow's been good since he's been back. 734, 8 TDs, 2 interceptions on the year. Joe Burrow, boy, you got to get some pass rush and get home on a Joe Burrow. He's going to make you pay for that stuff we've been seeing where they're rushing the passer and they're not getting there. That's not going to get it with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is going to make you pay if you actually can't get home and get that taken care of. Chase Brown, 172 and 727 yards, 3 TDs. Chase Brown's been pretty good. I think the line, their offensive line isn't as bad as people think it is. It's certainly not, elite by any stretch or anything like that. They don't have a bunch of guys going to the Pro Bowl or anything like that. And I don't think it's at least they can run the ball on the right side. I think part of the problem is why he's not having a better year. The line could be a little bit better. But yeah, 172, 3 TDs. Decent running back, Chase Brown. And this one. The last time the Ravens played Cincinnati, they didn't have T. Higgins. They should have T. Higgins in this one. Chase is now, once again, one of the leaders in the NFL. 1,015 yards with 91 receptions, 5 TDs. This guy's a beast. This guy's tremendous. I mean, he has good every time they play. Him and Joe Burrow have been playing together for so long, not only in Cincinnati, but before they even got to the NFL at LSU. So these guys are very, very familiar with each other and everything they do. So they are really have a good, good system going. I think, for lack of a better word, good system, very copacetic, everything, good simpatico. That's what I want to say, with each other. So the Ravens corners have been solid, though, I think, for the most part I've seen. Marlon's kind of been up and down at times. He's really good, but he's not great all the time. At times, though, I do see him. He's probably still the best at really actually being the force multiplier and getting the interceptions. Nate Wiggins has been fantastic. I think he's been growing right before us. Awuzie also, too, has been great as well. I think Awuzie been much better than expected this year as well. And he's been good. So that's absolutely correct here. It's lagging a little bit on my end here. Joseph Asai is for the 2 sacks. Had 2 sacks against the Ravens the last time they played. So the Ravens offensive line, the much maligned offensive line, has a challenge here as well. See what they can do as far as blocking against a good against a good Bengals defense. A good Bengals defense as far as rushing the passer and everything like that. Let's see how Lamar does in this one as well. Do I have the Lamar stats? I don't think I have the Lamar stats for the season. I don't think I have the Lamar stats. Lamar stats. Lamar has struggled the last few games, so definitely keep that in mind. He did look a little better in this one. I think Lamar did move the needle a little bit more I think, in this one as he did previously in the last few weeks. Not worried at all about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is not at 1,000 yards, but he's right around 900 or so as well. So stop telling me something wrong with Derrick Henry. There's nothing wrong with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is doing, I think, fine. I think the line play is just letting him down, not playing well in front of him. Isaiah Likely. Isaiah, yeah, man, I just didn't haul it in the end zone. So that is an issue with Isaiah. Got to secure the ball 2 consecutive weeks. Let's see how Isaiah is as well. But Zay Flowers, I think, is having, a Pro Bowl season as well. And certainly we're going to talk about here, again, the stats are wrong, so forgive me. Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey, I think, is very interesting. A lot of rumors that they're going to move away from Marlon at the end of the season as well. So it'll be interesting. He's definitely the highest paid. It's interesting to see how the organization feels about Marlon. That's interesting to see. It's kind of it is a bit of a mixed bag. I think I'm kind of seeing that with Marlon here as well. X factors in this one. Voorhees as well. I think that's what I want to. So Andrew Voorhees, thank you, artists, for forgiving me for that. Andrew Voorhees. Here's what I want to say about Voorhees, okay? And I know it's been said a lot about Andrew Voorhees. Voorhees and Faalele aren't the same. Like, let's just get that out the way, guys. They are not the same. They're not the same guy. Voorhees, I think you at least can run on his side. He's not nearly strong enough in pass protection, so that's an issue. But he's not Daniel Faalele. He's not good enough to be a starter, but he's not Daniel Faalele. So let's just get that. They're the same. No, they're not the same. Because he needs to be a lot better. They need to improve, but they are not the same guy. I do think it's possible if you run the ball and have a good run game. I think it's a little possible for him to have a better game than the other side where there's no hope. Jamon Jones, they brought him in. He had a good first 2 weeks. This is kind of what he is. I think he's a decent outside pass rusher, decent enough. Decent. I've said that a couple times, and I think that's kind of what he is. He's a decent NFL player. He's not a stud. He can do some things, but his sack totals about 7.5, 8. They really, when you want a pass rusher, you want a guy with 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like you see with the Steelers last week with Watt and Highsmith and guys like that. That's what the Ravens don't have. You know, they gotta. Again, and I know why they don't have it because it's expensive, but you got to start looking at guys like that as far as spending money in the offseason. So he's absolutely something that they look at here. So there you go. Ravens and the Bengals coming up on Sunday. So a couple games, NFL games for the Ravens have been flexed the next 2 weeks. So you're going to have night games. You're going to have a night game against New England. New England might be the best team in the AFC. Green Bay the week after might be the best team in the NFC. So as we go towards the Yuletide in the last few games here of the season, tough games, tough night games, the world will be watching. So they're going to get every opportunity to go ahead and get in the playoffs. Concerned. They haven't looked good. I don't think they look much different than Pittsburgh. The good news is one of these two teams is going to win the division. It's not going to be Cincinnati. It's not going to be Cleveland. Cleveland pushed Shedeur Sanders in way, way, way too late during the season. That's a bigger argument. I mean, they could have just drafted him and just played him, but it was way, way, way too late. But they decided not to do it. And now the Bengals, and with the issue with Burrow, they already got 9 losses. So, all right. So let's get to the funny parts here. And like I said, I've been watching a long time, and I've been watching football a long time. Watching, when I was younger, I went to Compton State for a few years to become a sports caster. So I've been watching sportscasts for many, many years, long time. And all the sportscasts I've watched for all these years and everything I've seen, I've never seen what I saw on Nightcap the other day, like after the Ravens game. As well. Shout out to former Raven Shannon Sharp. They did also to have the 25th anniversary of the Super Bowl win in 2000. So that's bizarre in and of itself. That's a different story, but Shannon didn't show up. Ray Lewis, I think possibly because of the beef he's having with Ray Lewis. So that's a whole nother thing. But interesting to see that. But that notwithstanding, the beef that he was having with Ray Lewis and all that, and why he didn't show up at the 25th anniversary, they were talking about on Nightcap Daniel Faalele and what's so unique about this is I don't think in all the years I've watched I've ever seen guys talk
on a defensive lineman or an extra blitzer coming.
Let me. What number is he? Don't say 77.
77. Faalele.
Yeah. Okay.
Faalele.
Yeah.
No. And a lot of that has to do with your left guard. He's terrible. And Chad, I know sometimes my bluntness is not the best, but he's not good. That left guard is not good. I mean, he ain't. You shouldn't
take down the screen so I can share this with you.
That needs to be a prerequisite. If you this big, you got to be good. This man, he can't block the sun out of his eyes, let alone a defensive lineman or an extra blitzer coming.
Let me. What number is he? Don't say 77.
77. Faalele.
Yeah. Okay.
Faalele.
Yeah.
He fillet, fish fillet.
Yeah. I bet. Listen. On film, he's always at the scene of a crime, and I mean no disrespect.
Yeah, 77. Yeah, that's him.
On the games that I've seen, it's always him, always the same one. I think he's better at run blocking I'm thinking he's better as a run blocker as opposed to
bring his ass in on fourth down. 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Very so crazy high. Can't let that happen. Tracy Bristol was around. This woman is absolutely out of her mind. Trace Hunter were both off. He's at work with 2 colleagues. She says that her husband saw her. He shot her a mean look. She panicked. She saw his arm raised as if he was going to her window out.
This man, he can't block the sun out of his eyes, let alone a defensive lineman or an extra blitzer coming.
Let me. What number is he? Don't say 77.
77. Faalele.
Okay.
Faalele.
Yeah.
Fillet. Fish fillet.
Fish fillet.
Yeah, I bet. Listen, on film, he is always.
All right, thank you. Then we got a scene
of a crime, and I
we got
no
Chad,
77. Yeah, that's him.
And Shannon Sharp
on the games that
they
I've
call
seen,
that man a fish fillet.
It's always him, always the same one. I think he's better at run blocking. I'm thinking he's better as a run blocker as opposed to.
Bring his ass in on 4th down.
Call that man
4th and 1, 4th and 2. But the way the teams are set up now, Ocho, you got to throw the ball at some point in time.
Funny thing in the comments was whatever, even as cool as these guys are saying it, they were saying in the comments, he's not fish fillet, he's Chick-fil-A. He's Chick-fil-A because instead of fish fillet, because he don't work on Sunday. That's how bad he is on the field when they play the games. Like, so I have never seen them talk. They talk for 20 minutes about offensive line. Talk for 20 minutes about Daniel Faalele. So the word is out, guys. I've been saying it for 2 years. All of us Ravens, people that are following the Ravens and all that, we've been saying it. We know. Everybody knows now. Like, there was also, too, the report, Tracy Wolfson on the sideline. They were talking about the heated argument that was had. I think Wilson went on Gunn Clarkslow and kind of fixed that as much as she could. As well as saying Faalele walked up to him and Lamar started yelling, so they weren't yelling at each other necessarily. Okay. But let's say that's true, and I'm thinking it is true. We all thought he was getting yelled at because he's terrible. So that is a thing as well. So but definitely check it out. It's on the Ravori Sports page, but definitely check out Shannon Sharp, Nightcap, etc. Because I've never seen that. They went on for 20 minutes. they went on for 20. I mean, they wouldn't stop.